Hey guys, Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I am back with another Dawn episode review for you guys as I am going solo today. If you're wondering why is my co-host the Red Wolf not joining me, is because I'm recording this Thursday evening. I was waiting for him to get done with work so we could be able to review the episode. Sadly, things came up on my end where I had to pick up my aunt from the airport, and I got home fairly late, and my boy has to get up early for work. So we basically said I'd do the review tomorrow, but then he let me know that he's actually going out of town himself, to Mexico. So essentially because of it, I don't want to dwell or with the fact that he's going to be out for the weekend. I don't want to wait for the episode review to basically be essentially like probably like delayed, and there would be a dual episode review for next week because that's when I actually get back in town for my trip out to Atlanta and Chicago. Um and things like that. So I'm just gonna do it solo. So you only get my thoughts. He did like the episode, so if you wanted to get my thought, the Red Wolf's thoughts, he did like the episode. He did like the Momo Okarun moment, and then on top of it, the other stuff that transpired in the episode. But he can give more of a thoughts and stuff like that for next week's review when he returns. But this episode was pretty good. You get obviously Momo and Okarun's relationship growing at the same time. Okarun, because we know he is very much got feelings for Momo, and overprotective ones at that, where he wants to make sure he's strong enough to, to protect her. You see what you get at the end of the episode, which leads into the next episode. So, if you remember from last week, obviously, Momo's friends took Okarun to meet Momo at her new job, and they find out like, oh, it's a maid cafe, right? So essentially, you just have this thing where Okarun just doesn't know how to feel. He's just got this blank stare on his face, and Momo's trying her hardest to do her job, but you can tell one, she's pissed off. At the same time, she's not only pissed off at her friends, she's just very flustered because this boy that she likes is basically seeing her as a maid. So they do the typical maid shit that they're doing. Like at one point, like she's like, "All right, go ahead and call him Master Sama," but she's like, "Here you go, bastard," and basically her boss is like, "Come on now, don't say that. You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say master and everything." And the crazy part is, when even though Momo said that, Okarun still got flustered. He was like, "Oh, I like this." Dude, I was absolutely cracking up this entire scene because Momo was just trying to do her dangdest to obviously just do her job. At the same time, she's flustered because this boy she likes is absolutely seeing her act like a damn maid, which honestly, I find that absolutely hilarious. It was hilarious. And then you get the moment where they're doing the whole Moe tri-beam thing, right? And it's funny because Momo's friends are like clearly pushing Momo and Okarun to go together so they can just get close, and they're like, Moe. It's just, oh man, bro. I was absolutely crying, bro. Like, Momo's friends are some of the best wing women I've seen, bro. They clearly know like Okarun and Momo got something going on. We're gonna hook these two up together, right? Um Obviously Momo was so pissed off at her friend. She's like, I can't believe you told me that this was just a maid cafe. That just this was some random restaurant. And they're like, oh, maids are cute and everything. But they look like they're gonna take Okarun away, right? But Okarun's like, no, I want to stay here. So he does. So he stays, and he asks Momo's like, hey, when do you get out of work? And she's like, I get out at 10. Now, I have a question to ask in this whole situation. Number one, I would think that these employers definitely do know, like, that this is a high school girl and she obviously needed a job. Now, I don't know if it was the boss's recommendation or if it was just mom was like, hey, give me the most hours as possible as you can give me because I want to make as much money as I possibly can. Because again, you do make more money, well, based on how you pay and based on the hours you get paid, you do make more money, right? So like for example, I know for me, right now with the job I currently have, I get paid like $18 an hour. It could be better. But you get my point. I do get like commission with what I do because I do sales. But you get the point, right? You get the point. So essentially, um you just, I don't know why they would be keeping her to 10, but maybe Momo asked to work till 10. That's my best guess. I wouldn't know, but hey, maybe that's her call, right? But anyways, you have it to where she's like, no, you don't need to stay because Okarun's like, hey, okay, if that's the case, then I'll just stay till you get out of work. And Mom was like, no, you don't need to stay. Just go home. I'll be back, right? So she goes back into doing work, and you just see this montage where she's doing all her maid cafe stuff, and at the same time she's looking at the clock when she obviously gets out. Eventually, she does get through, her working hours, which crazy working from I guess whenever she I guess because you typically go to school like around like 3 p.m., right? you know 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and just to work till fucking 10 p.m., like, bro, and then you gotta turn it around and go back to school. Like, I don't think she's gonna keep the job for far too long. Unless she actually will stick on and do it. But it's crazy. So she gets done. Her coworker's like, "You did a good job. We'll see you next time," right? So it seems like she didn't get fired. So that's a good thing, right? But she walks out and she's just wondering like if Okarun actually did stay, and she does look both ways, and she's like, "Oh, I guess he went home." But then Okarun runs and basically like Miss Aya say, here, let's go home together, right? I did like the fact that he does have the picture of them together from the maid cafe thing, right? So at first he was gonna reach out his hand to grab her hand, but he's like, oh yeah, no. But then she walks over and she grabs his hand, and they're holding hands. So it's interpreted that they were holding hands on the way home together. So I look, bro. Look, man. I'm here. I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it. I'm here for Momo X Okarun. And any moment we get to them being freaking closer together, I'm good. Like, dog, I hope Okarun starts to realize. Well, I think at this point, I think he's completely realized, like, maybe Momo, does like me. And that's why, you get at the end of the episode, especially with what happens with Evil Eye again, you just have it to where dude feels weak and not strong enough to protect Momo because we already know, but I'll get into that in a second, right? But again, like, dog, if this isn't a fact of comfort, like, for my man, bro, if it isn't a confirmation, like, this girl don't like you, bro. She's openly holding your hands. Like, she's not treating you like a friend no more. She wants to be something more than a friend. Like, it's just adorable with the relationship, and it's very cute to see how the relationship is growing. Like, when we first saw them, like, they kind of were like acquaintances, but the more they got to know each other, and the more Okarun did for Momo, and the more Momo did for Okarun, it's like they have developed a bond to where it's like, okay, she's starting to catch feelings for him, he's catching feelings for her. It's just great, right? It's just great. So you get that wonderful moment, which transitions immediately to freaking Ira, right? You don't even like immediately the moment they grab hold hands, you cut to Ira immediately. I wish they kind of played it out because I'm like, look, I like Ira, but I'm like, bro, why? I don't want to see Ira drinking boba, like, but she's drinking boba tea, and basically Gigi's doing some more training, so they drop another cold drop of like water on him, and he basically is working to contain Evil Eye and not go berserk, and that's what he did right there. He seemingly was able to do that, right? So that's all good, right? Anyways, Momo and Okarun walk in. They're like, "Hey, we're back." And then essentially, Ira, by mistake, accidentally bumped into Gigi. What is it? Because they both had something to tell them, right? But Ira accidentally did it, splash the cold boba on Gigi. Obviously, everybody was prepared with the water, right? But it was too little, too late. Gigi, Evil Eye made sure to put up a barrier to, to prevent it, and he basically got Momo stuck in this barrier, right? Everybody else is just like watching, like, uh-oh, this is bad, right? Freaking Okarun's like, no, Evil Eye, fight me, right? And he goes into his all-out form, but he can't break through the barrier. You have it to where Seiko, she tries to use a talisman to break the barrier, but it actually doesn't work at all. If anything, it actually burns her hand. And Momo's basically just on her own, trapped, right? And at first she tries to push Evil Eye back, but Evil Eye basically breaks through her grab and he starts choking her out. And it's getting to the point like, oh shit, is Momo actually gonna fucking die here? But then she actually had swallowed water, the hot water from Okarun's cup, right? And she spit it in his face, turned Gigi back to normal. Gigi then, realizes what happened. He sees that he was holding, Momo, or dang near in his moment of choking her. Okarun comes in, pushes Gigi away, and he's like, Miss Ayase, are you okay? I'm still waiting for him to stop using, I'm still waiting for him to eventually stop saying the, Miss Ayase. Because we know in his all out form, he calls her Momo, right? And I hope when we get at some point in the show in his regular form, I hope he does, instead of stop calling her Miss Ayase, I hope calls her Momo at some point. Like, I think that's gonna be a big moment, because the moment he starts calling her by her first name, you can already think like they're a couple, right? But he's obviously worried and everything, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" and everything. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He's like, "No, I'm being serious. Like, are you okay?" Like, it's clear he's worried about her. Now, Gigi obviously shaken up about this because he dang near saw that he was choking his childhood friend. Seiko's like, "Look, man, it's not your fault. It's okay. It is what it is." But Gigi not only looks at what he almost did with Momo, but also saw Seiko's hand and how the fact that it was burned. And then he does give another glance at Momo and Okarun. I don't know if maybe he's getting a little bit jealous, or maybe, I don't know if he's obviously, I think one, he feels bad, but obviously two, I don't know if he's feeling jealous because he sees that, Okarun is being very overprotective of Momo and everything and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's going to transpire into something, right? But you do get this conversation. One, you get it with the one Shrine Dude and Seiko, where Shrine Dude is like, "Look, man, let's call the Hayashis, bro, so we can just dispel the evil eye from Gigi." Like, dude, at this point, it's not even worth it. Like, it's more of a danger that we have this evil eye, that we have evil eye roaming around Gigi's spirit and he can't control it. And we have to be on edge at any point of what we do. We really, realistically, like, we can't live life normally without wondering, like, is this dude splashing cold water on him? Or cold water, and it turns him to evil eye. So I completely understand where the dude was talking about. He's like, bro, I'm not trying to risk my life, because this dude said, "Hey, let's give Evil Eye a chance." Like, we almost died, and you almost lost your granddaughter because of it, right? So I don't give a shit. We're calling the Hayashis tomorrow. We're doing the exorcism. We're getting rid of Evil Eye. So that's the thing, right? Because at first, Seiko kind of pushed back, right? But then dude is like, "Look, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's not good." And obviously, you can tell, I think Seiko's come to the realization maybe it's probably best to exercise Evil Eye, because you can't control it. It's just uncontrollable at this moment. So that's the thing, right? You do get this moment between Ira and Momo. Actually, a pretty good moment. Like, Ira actually apologized to Momo. She's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I should have probably not bumped into Gigi and splashed that drink on him. Otherwise, you never would have been put in that situation. Because that's actually very shocking of Ira to actually acknowledge that and actually say like, no, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It was just an accident. Momo said she was okay, and everything, and she understood like you probably wanted to tell me something and you just made a mistake. It's all right. But Ira actually did feel really guilty about that, right? That's the thing. But in the meanwhile, Okarun and Gigi, they're kind of like not, apart from each other. So clearly the tension is there. Obviously, Okarun's kind of more upset that he couldn't do anything, that he couldn't protect and break through that barrier to protect Momo. But and I think also Gigi in some cases, he might be a little upset about what happened with Momo, and then also maybe a little bit jealous of the fact like it seems like Momo's giving Okarun more of attention than I am, right? So there's that, right? But you just have it to where Okarun, he then goes to our alien friend to ask him to basically, hey, teach me how to punch, teach me how to punch. And the alien dude's like, dog, no, I'm not gonna do that. So, and he does all these mundane tasks with him, right? At first, I was thinking like, oh, maybe this is gonna be maybe the type of task, like maybe something similar to what we saw in Dragon Ball with Master Roshi and Goku and Krillin when they first trained. Like, they didn't get to fight in training. They basically like carried like milk bottles and stuff. I'm like, okay, are we gonna get that type of training? No, he didn't train him at all, like legitimately. Like he didn't tell him at all. Also too, he does take the form of a human, like it's kind of like half human. Like he takes like the form of a human to make sure like he's not, weirded out. But we actually see how it's like, okay, it makes sense, right? But the thing is, Uncle is punching. And Turbo Granny essentially comes in, right? And Turbo Granny's like, so what are you doing? And he's like, I'm punching. And Turbo Granny, layman's term, is like, look, dude, are you looking to just throw a punch or are you looking to get stronger? And he's like, look, I'm looking to do, hit a punch and everything. Like, look, can you teach me? It's your powers. And basically, Turbo Grin is like, why would I teach you how to punch? There's no point. Answer the fucking question again. Do you want to just punch or do you want to get stronger? Because Turbo Granny was breaking it down like, look, what you're trying to say is makes no sense. Like, how the fuck do you want to punch? If you're not trying to get stronger. If anything, it sounds like you're saying the exact same fucking thing. So then that's when Okarun's like, okay, look, I want to get stronger. And Turbo Gun is like, okay, good, sure. Let me help you with that. Which makes sense because remember earlier in the season, he did say he wanted to train, or a few episodes ago, he did want to train to get stronger. And realistically, I don't see how punching somebody does get you stronger. But Turbo Gun is like, don't worry, I'll get you stronger, right? So the thing is, they go to the school. Ira actually showed up and caught up with them, and they're like, "Wait, what the hell is Ira? What are you doing here, Ira?" And Ira's like, "No, I'm here for a reason, right?" So there's that, right? Obviously, they go into the school, right? And basically, Turbo Granny kind of explains, like, "Okay, dude, look, man, here's a good demonstration, right?" Because basically, Turbo Granny tells Okarun straight up, honestly, it's like, "Look." You can't take on Evil Eye as is. Like that last time, you kind of got lucky there, right? But overall now, Evil Eye is just stronger than you right now, and you don't do it. And she does it in the form of like a piano, like piano notes, like and everything. So she does it. So she's like, look, just start jumping, right? Okarun starts jumping, and basically Turbo Gun is like, see, this is your rhythm, right? And she does it like two notes. She basically says this is, and then she does a demonstration for Evil Eye, and it's a faster pace, pressing down on the piano keys, right? And basically Turbo Grand is like, look, yours is very slow, his is very fast, so he can do 4 jumps, and will make in that like quick of a second, and it'll make it seem like he only did it one time. As for you, it takes way too long to do it, right? And even Turbo Granny just like says like, look, even freaking that girl over there, Ira, she actually, is stronger than you too. Like her pace is faster, is insanely fast too. So, basically the thing is Turbo Granny's teaching Okarun is if you want to get stronger, you got to pick up your pace, right? And basically the episode ends off with them with one of the paintings, I guess a spirit that had a painting something that looked like freaking something out of the 1980s, like it was George Washington or fucking Thomas Edison or something like that. One of the, you know, and it looks like this is gonna be Okarun's training, right? Because the next episode is titled "You Can Do It, Okarun." So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen now, but it definitely does make sense why Okarun does want to get stronger, because he wants to make it to the point where he wants it to where Momo doesn't have to get herself involved in these fights. He wants it to where, if it comes down to it, he doesn't want Momo to get her hands dirty. He wants to be the one to basically be strong enough so he can protect Momo, because we know he cares about Momo. And he obviously, clearly enough, has feelings for her. And it's just the thing of like, he wants to get stronger. I wouldn't say to impress her, but to be like, no, I want to get stronger so one, I can combat any upcoming threat that, we go up against, and you don't have to help me and you don't have to save me all the time, because, I want to be somebody that, hey, I can save you, I can hold my own. So in a situation, you can count on me. And I think Okarun still has those insecurities about himself where he knows he's strong, but he knows he's not as strong as he could be, and he feels like he's only letting, Momo down, and saying like, no, she's always saving me, and if I need to save her, I'm not strong enough to save her, and the way she gets out of the situation is just pure luck. So he wants to be that person that can protect Momo, so Momo doesn't have to get herself involved in this stuff. But next week seems to be a really interesting episode, and I definitely can't wait to see where it goes. But if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Dawn content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe out there, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.